Welcome to Inside Automotive with Jim Fitzpatrick.
Hey everyone, Jim Fitzpatrick. Welcome into another edition of Inside Automotive right here at the CBT Automotive Network. Lotlinx has launched an AI advisor specifically for dealerships called Lot GPT. How cool is that name? Joining us today to break down how Lot GPT works and what it means for dealerships is Lance Schafer, who's Lotlinx EVP and General Manager of Product and Technology. And Len Short, you've seen him here before on CBT News. He's the Lotlinx Executive Chairman. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me for this big announcement here on Lot GPT. I got to hand it to you, Len. You're always knocking the cover off the ball from a marketing standpoint. That's a great name.
Well, thank you, sir. I'm glad to be here, and I brought my my partner, Lance Schafer, who is the genius behind this product. You know, and I think you've noticed, you know, all the geniuses have wild hair, and Lance is no exception.
The wilder the hair, the greater the genius, right?
It's true. What does that make me? You know, it must say something about me. Anyway.
That's exactly right. So for those that are hearing about Lot GPT for the first time, what exactly is it, and why is it important for you know, an important development, I should say, for dealers today?
Yeah, as you know, we've been deep into machine decisioning and machine models for way before anybody else.
You were doing it when it wasn't cool.
I know, and everybody thought I was, you know, tilting at windmills here.
Exactly.
It was really Lance, you know. And, you know, we have this massive data set.
Yeah.
And we also have, you know, we hold the data of our dealers, our dealer partners. So we built this very secure way of hosting their data, making it accessible and activating it on their behalf. And, you know, Lance was telling me, hey, you texted me that the minute ChatGPT launched, and he was showing me the text exchange back, this was a couple of years ago. And, you know, we did this because we could, and because there's a fundamental need for dealers. ChatGPT is good at general information. Mm-hmm. When you need a tool for a specific application, it falls apart. As a matter of fact, I'd encourage your viewers to ask ChatGPT what it thinks of Lotgpt, because when we run the same questions side by side on ChatGPT and Gemini and Lotgpt, and then we ask them all to rate it, they all say Lotgpt is much, much better for the dealer, because it's very specific. It gives dealers a very clear view of their, you know, their inventory situation, any question they really want to ask it, and actionable, you know, decisions that they can make from that information. Puts it all in one place, makes it easily accessible. Yeah. And you know, we think that's a big value. It's, you know, we've had a couple of hundred, about 400 dealers, you know, hacking away at it in beta. And today we opened it up to another couple hundred of, you know, principals, and we'll continue to let more and more people in on this. And, you know, we've had, you know, I think we're up to over 150,000 queries. Wow. And, you know, they're using it, you know, most people are using it every day, and most of those are using it multiple times a day. Wow. Because it's, you know, it gives them what they need, you know, information at their fingertips.
Sure. Lance, I see you shaking your head. Did you want to add to that?
Yeah, 100%. And just to add to that, you know, these broader chatbots like ChatGPT, et cetera, do not really, they're helpful, obviously. Dealers are using them every day. We know that. What we think is they need a safe place that they can have their data stored with us. It's not that safe necessarily to load all your, especially private data, or upload your data into these large models. They could be used for training, and even they advise against that. Mm-hmm. So having, you know, we've got decades of experience of housing dealers' data. You know, we're SOC 2 compliant on, you know, from that side of it. Yeah. And data is the fuel of getting the proper responses. And if you don't have all your data and in an automated way that's updated several times a day, that really allows for much, much better answers. Like, and you know, alongside all the other things like Lotlinx's data alongside that. Mm-hmm. And really just giving dealers exactly, and then also fine tuning the models on the actual for dealers, so that it's actually made for dealers. So those are the three things that we realized fairly early on, that without those three things, dealers were not going to be able to get the most out of AI. So that was really where we focused here over the last year here.
Yeah, for sure. During the pilot phase, you mentioned dealers submitted over 150,000 queries. What were some of the most common or insightful that you use for case studies?
The product has a feature which is today's hot prompts. So you can just see it feeding what people are asking it in real time.
Mm-hmm.
And dealers get a lot of nourishment from that because it gives them ideas about how they can use it for themselves. So I'm just looking here at today's hot prompts, and the one at the top right now is create a 7-day move it plan for my slow movers. The next one is what's a markdown playbook that doesn't teach consumers to wait. Optimize price tests over 7 days. They're using her for very tactical decisions. And as you know, as a former operator, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of decisions to make every week.
Oh yeah, no question about it.
And and we all know that information is power.
Yep.
And frankly, the right information is profit for a car dealer.
That's right.
Right. So, I was talking to, when we announced this, the president of one of the largest groups called me, a guy I didn't know, and was very excited about this. They have all the resources. He said, listen, we've got all the resources. We've got, endless reporting and data platforms. I can't get information. I can't pull it together.
Right.
I mean, it's all
crazy
out there, but it's not. And what they really need is a machine to do that for them. Just digest it. Look at the whole situation,
Sure.
Make a very concise recommendation, and that's how they're using it. They're using it to basically call their next play on the dealership. And it has incredible power. It can predict cars that are going to be a problem, so you don't have to wait until after the fact. It can, if you just go to the tool and just look at the hot prompts, you'll see how dealers are using this as a operating tool for their dealership.
That's fantastic.
That's what excites us. It's just, how can we take all the stuff we have and make it available to dealers so they can, run their dealerships better.
Sure.
And,
sure.
And one point about this, everybody's talking about, well, AI is going to come along and destroy a lot of jobs. I don't see it in the car business. I think what it's going to do in the car business is make every operator better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Good point.
I had lunch with an owner, 23 stores, Northern Florida, and was telling me he's a really great operator. I mean, a magnificently successful guy. He was telling me, listen, I've got 23 stores. I have 2 guys. He came up through used. So I have 2 guys that are like really solid used. The rest, and he wasn't putting them down. He's saying that's the fact of the business.
Yeah.
And he said even those guys take vacations and make mistakes and go down rabbit
That's
holes.
right.
And so he was just very excited about, listen, how can you give me a tool that makes my really good people consistently better?
Yep. That's the key.
We don't know. That's what machines do.
That's right.
Machines, just consistently deliver, and, they have heavy lifting capacity.
That's right.
And, that's what the dealers need. So I think it's just going to make car dealers more profitable, more effective. Everybody's going to be an expert.
Yeah, you mentioned some of them, but Lance, how does Lot GPT use VIN level and market data to help the, dealers improve pricing, merchandising, and overall profitability?
Yeah, so like on the VIN side, and this is where Lotgpt really shines, and it, once our beta testers realized what they could do at the VIN level, it became probably one of the most popular features, or literally you can cut and paste your VIN inside of Lotgpt. Now try doing that on ChatGPT, it won't do anything. Now on Lotgpt, what it does is it gathers all the data and intelligence and starts recommending actions around the vehicle. And I mean, it's unbelievable the actions that it recommends. Like, don't lower price, you've got 3 hot leads on this right now. It's like, really? Or you've had 25 EDP views in the last 3 days on it. You're probably priced right, just give it a little bit of time. So I think it's saving operators a lot of money by preventing those markdowns. Or pointing out things that they just don't have time to look at every single VIN and producing that at scale. So the VIN level intelligence is really, of course, unique. And again, it's something that's only possible with the right data set put together and the right kind of knowledge base and fine tuning.
So Jim, here's the catch. It's free. We've opened this up.
What do you mean it's free?
It's free.
What do you mean it's free?
Yeah, we've decided, to make this available to every dealer for free. So all you have to do is go to lotgpt.com. You enter your dealership URL.
Wow.
Right now we've got a waiting list because we've been just swamped.
Oh, I'm sure.
And And so you gotta, you might have to wait a few days, and then
All
we'll
right,
let you.
that's no big deal.
And it's a free tool for dealers.
Don't have to be a Lotlinx client. You don't have to be a Lotlinx client.
No.
Nice.
No. And
wow.
And luckily, we're still an independently run, company.
Sure.
So we can do, what we want to do. We don't have, masters telling us, everything has to be for profit.
Sure.
And I just felt like, listen, if dealers get access to information, they'll make better decisions.
Absolutely.
They'll be smarter dealers.
That's
and we tend to do very well with a smarter power dealer. We have very high penetration. The big groups, the big power stores.
Damn, that's fantastic.
We're trying to bring everybody along. That's what we're doing here.
Is this your way of giving back to the community that's been good to you? Or?
We debated, should we charge for it? And we just finally said, hey, listen, it's not, it's a costly endeavor for us.
Sure.
But we just felt like, listen, you give, and it'll come back around to us one way or another.
Man, you have the right attitude.
The power of bin level decisioning,
Yeah.
So so that's what I don't want people to miss, because I'm sure they're thinking, okay, what's the price for this?
No,
thing?
that's huge.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So,
how quickly can a dealership get on board? I mean, if they, like you said, if they sign up, they get in line, and then in a few days or
a couple days probably, we're going to start picking up the pace. We'll let them in, and listen, it will do incredible things for you without even giving it any information. Then it's very simple. If you want to house your dealer your dealer data completely secure, only you can see it, only you can use it, it'll never get touched, SOC 2 compliant, you can open up your GA and some other, for instance, like Lance tells you, hey, if you put in your CRM data, it'll start making all these incredible recommendations about
that's powerful.
What's going on. Yeah. And so the second step I would recommend for dealers is it's free. You just make a couple of clicks. Our people will integrate it. We do it every single day. We've done this for 15 years. Thousands of dealers. And it's and that's when you get the real power of the thing.
Sure.
And so it's.
So how do you see Lot GPT growing in the future, and what's the long-term vision for its role in retail automotive?
Yeah, I think dealers right now, if you ask, I don't know a dealer who's not using ChatGPT. And we obviously it's a great platform. It's magic what it does, and it can do a lot of things, general things for you right now. So dealers are using it every day. We just felt like dealers needed a vertical application.
Sure, absolutely.
That was built specifically for dealers that went thousands of levels deeper. And much more powerful for the dealer. So where it goes from here, dealers are asking us all sorts of things like, how do I train people on this incentive program or this stair step? How do I, they're asking it all sorts of things. They think it's great answers, but we've got a team of trainers that work with those queries and make sure that all of the right data is coming in, and those answers just become better and better. So that's where it'll go. I think dealers, we're seeing that right now with our user base. They're just using it for everything. They're they're even asking it what to have for dinner, and you know what it tells you? It knows where your store is. It knows exactly what's around you.
That is incredible.
Whether your sales are down. I actually had a response one time
saying, well,
sales are down. You better make dinner quick. Maybe fast food is a good option for you.
What should I do with Bobby Smith? He's the low guy in the totem pole. Do I train him? Do I fire him? What do I do?
I'm not joking. This is what they're using it for. And,
that is crazy.
You ask ChatGPT, and it doesn't, it knows you're a car. This thing knows you're a car dealer, knows exactly what you're up against.
That's scary. That's scary.
Yeah.
Len, you've been like the father of AI, and we talked about it before, in retail automotive. 10, 12 years ago, you were out there pitching, let the machines do the heavy lifting, basically. And this thing is, it's almost like now the world has come to your doorstep to go, this is what you've been talking about. Oh, it does all of these things?
Sometimes it takes something like ChatGPT for people to really
to get it.
Feel what it can do. Not me, literally another vendor up there telling you this is a great thing, but you kind of feel it. And I can tell you, we're seeing it in our business. It's skyrocketing because dealers are coming around to, hey, listen, in this competitive world, I need an edge. I need to make smarter decisions. and we all know that it's all in the inches.
That's right.
As a car dealer, it's in every inch.
That's right.
And, if you get a machine, I always tell dealers, this thing does exactly what you and I would do.
Yeah.
If we're quality operators.
Yeah.
If we had all the information all day.
That's right. That's right.
It's not doing wild stuff. It's just doing exactly what you would do, just with such precision and clarity. That's the most important thing about it. It's just the clarity of the recommendations.
Yeah. As a dealer today, if you can get your hands around data and technology, you win. You win the game, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the
they're all
old
figuring
school.
that out.
Yep.
And that's why we're making it free. We're trying to make that accessible to everybody.
Yeah. No question about it, for sure.
The deal. And Lance and his team have been just incredible. I mean, when this thing was hard for us, Lance is the one that said, "No, Len, we have to do this." No, I was looking at it thinking, wow, it's a heavy, but here we are.
That's right.
I would strongly recommend everybody just go to lotgpt.com or lotlinx.com/lotgtp. There's a little video that'll tell you more about.
Oh, that's great. We'll show all the information on the screen here. Yeah. Dealers, man, I'd be clicking right now to get on that thing if I were you. This is a no-brainer.
I have had dealers doing everything to cut the line and get me to let them in. I have had all sorts of people coming at me.
Right. It's free, but I'll go ahead and pay you if I could just get in there sooner.
Yeah.
Right.
So they'll get in. Just it's moving pretty quickly, and we just want to making sure that everybody has a great experience. That it's so we're just kind of staging it out.
That's right. Lance, you had the vision there. I got to hand it to you. Did you realize at the time when you were coming on this that you said, okay, the time has come, we got to put this thing together?
Not really. I would say, kind of the vision was there that dealers would be using AIs like conversationally to help run their businesses.
Sure.
Over the last year, every 2 weeks we interview dealers who are using like in that beta group, and they're the ones who really told us what they wanted.
Yeah.
And so that's really the feedback we've got. These 150,000 prompts become really obvious what dealers want.
Yeah.
And so it became really clear about 6 months ago exactly what dealers wanted. And
wow.
and so we kind of had a vision of it for sure. We knew we could do something, but really dealers are the ones who told us exactly what they wanted, which is why I feel like it really is built for them. And so I'd like to think we had it all figured out early on. We didn't, but I think we're onto something now, and it's because of that.
For sure. There's no question about it. I would imagine, too, the OEMs are going to jump in on this at some point in time, right? And go, okay, what kind of a play do we have in all of this with our dealers when you've got this kind of technology?
Yeah, we're doing a lot with the OEMs to help them manage their inventory and use power of AI. And, that's probably the fastest growing piece of our business. And those are big resourceful companies that need scale. And, we as I always say, we're not a sales company. We're a product and technology company. We have a long history, a real, very sturdy, broad foundation. Yeah. It's taken us a long time, a lot of money. We've built something that stands up and can serve all the way up to the big groups in the OEM.
Sure. That's fantastic. Congratulations on all of that. Len, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you, because I know that you've got your hand on the pulse of the auto industry, working with thousands of your client partners all over the country and getting all of this data in. What say you about how we will finish 2025, and then what's your forecast for 2026 as it relates to the auto industry?
I think 2025 was a great year. I was just in a GMC store trading in my truck and getting a new one and talking to the GM. They're power operators, and he was saying, listen, it's surprisingly strong all year long and still is.
Yeah.
So it's American consumer is resilient. We know they're up against affordability issues, but there's a lot of replacement demand.
Yeah.
I think we'll probably go into a little bit of a headwind, a flatter market. It's all seasonal. So, we're anticipating what happens in the first quarter, see how much of a pullback there is there. But I think we've got a strong market. Never more important for dealers, though, to be, very precise with how they're managing their inventory.
Yeah.
Watching the basics and not missing a trick. That's what's going to keep, PVR up and grosses up for the dealers.
That's right.
I always say it's anything over 14.5 million SAR is essentially good car business, right? So I think we'll be well above that. But the smart operators always win. Even and the tougher it gets, the more they win.
And
you know what I mean?
That's right. And the tougher it gets, the more they need technologies like the one you've got here. I mean, this is, dealers have no longer, they don't have the luxury of putting it to the side. They have to address and embrace the technology that's out there, especially in the area of AI, right?
But it's so hard to do. And that's really what I think the big breakthrough here is. I mean, think about asking a complicated question to Chat GPT. Everybody's done it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, just think about how it grinds through and just pulls everything together with great clarity. And that, I think, is the big breakthrough here. There's a sea of data. I have a very specific question, but how do I get a clear answer, a clear direction? And that's what the machine can do for these dealers. And I think we all operate better when the decisions are clear.
Oh, no question about it.
And that I think is the big promise.
And the fact that you've made this free to everybody, dealers, I don't know if you heard that, we said free, but we're going to show all the information on the screen here. I wouldn't wait a second after you watch this video to get in line and sign up for this if I were you. I'm just saying, and I've run dealerships. But
I am sure that no good deed goes unpunished. So you must get outside for me somewhere.
That's right. That's right. You got to tell me how this all works out, but something tells me you got a plan here. So that's fantastic. So Lance Schafer, Lotlinx Executive Vice President, General Manager of Product and Technology, and of course the star behind all of this, and Len Short, Lotlinx Executive Chairman. Thank you to both of you for coming in and sharing this with our viewers. I think we're really giving them some great information and a phenomenal tool that you've built. So thanks again. Really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you, sir. Good to see you.
You too.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
Thanks for watching Inside Automotive with Jim Fitzpatrick.